Hey guys, so yeah, back with another how-to. Again, I want to go over coordination, but this time I want to do it in a 2v2 environment because I would argue coordination in 2v2 is probably more important than anything else. And the reason for that is because obviously if you lose a teammate, you're immediately in a 2v1. Like, even if you coordinate badly in, say, a 3v3 or a 4v4, there's still opportunities through individual skill to be able to pull something out of the bag there, right? But in a 2v2, usually you're in tighter proximity to each other. So if one of you dies, then it is immediately in a 2v1 situation against you and your team, which it does suck, and that can be really difficult to get out of. But I do want to put out a disclaimer and say that the footage that I'm going to be reviewing to make these points is actually from quite a casual 2v2. So all of us were in the same chat, we were talking to each other. So this was played in a casual manner, but there's still a couple of things that I think I can touch on here and hopefully give a bit of insight on. So let's get into it.
I'm just going to get a bit roasted here. The other one's in front of me.
Oh, just do what you can, I suppose. Try and fuck him up on the others, I guess.
Oh, and there's another. Howie.
Another? They've got three.
No. And I'm saying Farquad's another Howie.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he's running his Swiss. Yeah.
I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Did you see where Dickhead went?
You realize how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, which one am I talking? I can see both of the dickheads.
From Uji's laugh, I think you can tell.
Why do I get the feeling you're behind us somewhere?
He's not. I saw him right next to
I'm
the
not,
triple.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Because I came over to support, and then you all fucking
He's got
scarfed, didn't you?
So yeah, a bit of scene set in here. So we already know what they're running. Okay, we know Uji has his hover Howie build, which is using incendiaries. So we know he's got no splash damage, or can't do any splash damage from those. And the other thing that we know is Farquad is on treads, and he has 2 snipes on it. So we then realise, as you hear in the audio there, he throws some Howies. So therefore we know that it's a Swiss build, and he'll also have grenades on it. So, okay, because of the way we split up to grab comms at the start of the match, to try and get the early advantage on those, Steve, who I was playing with, was put under pressure by both of them. Now, because he's in a triple single, I thought there was a real danger that he could get pushed quickly and taken out of the game early. So I immediately wanted to rush over to him to at least stave off, stop them from making that push. So yeah, a point on awareness. At the very end of this section, Uji actually says he's got the feeling that I am behind them, to which Farquad responds he's seen me with their triple. Now, in a more competitive match, this undoubtedly will have been communicated straight away, so they both would have been aware. But I just wonder if that is the reason Uji in particular wasn't more aggressive against Steve in the opening parts of the game, because they didn't know where I was. So what I've said in other videos about being unpredictable, this is a good example of that, because they don't know if I'm trying to get a flank, they don't know if I'm coming back to try and help Steve out, they don't actually know what I'm doing. If they don't know what I'm doing, people just don't approach the game the same, right? And yeah, on another note as well, we know Farquad's running a Swiss and Uji's running his hover with incendiaries. I'm running cannons and Steve is running a triple, which is largely a support build. So a cannonader in a situation against either one of them is going to be brutal if I can get close enough and they haven't got much cover to take. So at this point, I'm thinking in my head how I can approach them and get into their faces without getting hit too much on the way over.
He's around where I'm firing, Uji.
Oh, okay.
He's up on that hill over there.
Yeah, he's firing at us now.
A little lower, you.
Right, that was a bad shot.
That's good. That's good.
Napalm! Have I set any of you on fire yet?
Well, I think
not really.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Not
not
for me.
really? Oh no.
No, my generator's full. Oop. Apart from now that I splashed myself.
Ah! Hi.
The other way. That needs to be higher.
I got a hit on Farquaad, I don't know what I took.
He's moving too quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of his guns.
Oh, that was nice. That was a nice hit. I saw that.
Yeah, cannons are not the one on this map. Thought
I thought you just said that too. I'm like,
Yeah, I did. I thought, you know what, maybe I'm convincing myself I'll give it a go, but there's not a huge amount I can really do, to be honest.
Okay, now I've definitely set you on fire.
yeah. Although this hasn't got a lot of heat, this sound, for some reason. I haven't even had the alarm yet.
Hardball. Yeah.
I'm really underranging it. I really need to get better at predicting.
Are those hitting you, by the way, Farquaad? It's hard to tell.
that's
Oh,
good, yeah.
oh, well, right, I've got a leech fire now. Hand them up, alright. Yeah, I've got... Oh. Farquaad's basically stripped.
So, as I said in the last voiceover, I was trying to work out how to approach them. So what I do here is I peel over to the left and I try to use the hill to break the line of sight to Farquaad. That way he can't see me approaching until it's too late and I'm on top of him. It doesn't quite work, but I did get a shot off and I ended up taking a gun off him. So it was a good trade for the amount of damage I ended up taking. But at the same time, Uji does spot me and he throws some rounds towards me. Now, because they've noticed me and they're both looking in my direction, I've got two options. I can either keep pushing, knowing Uji is going to be hitting me, he's going to be lighting me on fire the whole time, possibly even getting direct shots on me from the side, or I could pull back and try something else. On balance, I think I actually do the right thing here by pulling back, because I lose health on my Jenny. It takes it below halfway, but it's like I said, it's a good trade, all things considered. But I will caveat this with, I know I'm running a durable generator, right? And I also know that the output isn't too severely damaging if it does go below half health, because on most generators, in most builds, once your Jenny goes below half, you'll be underpowered, which is going to affect your movement speed, your acceleration, your shot grouping, your recoil, your ability to rotate. Whereas with this build, the generator has a lot of excess output, so by going down below halfway, it doesn't affect me. Now, if I was running a double generator, a two nobility build, or even a weaker generator, I've put myself in a really bad spot by doing that. So again, I just want to stress the importance of being aware of what hounds you're running and their strengths and weaknesses before you try and take a fight. Now, what I'm doing after I get back to the safety of the hill that Steve was on is I'm having a think again about how I close the distance and get close to Farquad, because at this point, I've identified he's probably the biggest threat to my hound at the moment, and he's already done some damage to Steve. So, and that's because he has snipes, which are going to be dangerous against Steve, and he also has grenades. Now, grenades against cannon hounds are pretty brutal, so yeah, I think he's the bigger issue, because Uji, it takes time for incendiary rounds to actually do the damage that they do, and at the same time it'll only take a few trigger pulls from my cannons and grenades to kill Uji if he decides to get close. So what I'm doing is I make visual confirmation of where Farquad is, and I can tell he hasn't changed the position that he's sitting on. I know he's probably going to stay there for some time now because he hasn't moved all game. He's been on that same hill. He hasn't moved. And what that is really predictable play. So I know what he's doing. I know what he's trying to do. He's in the moment. He's trying to keep eyes on Steve. He's trying to be aware of me. And he's going to give Uji that free roll to sort of do what he's doing. So that becomes really predictable. I know exactly what Farquad's trying to do. So what I do, I pan over to my left to see where Uji is, because that's the biggest issue for me. I don't want to push and then get caught in a 2v1. At this moment, I hear Steve say, he's moving too quick. So I know Uji is towards where Steve was firing at, like where he was sending his shells. And at this moment, Steve then says that he's lost one of his guns. So I know where I am. I'm not affecting the game as much as I want to. And it's affecting Steve. So I decide that I need to do something, right? And so I throw a shot at Farquad. But you'll hear me say, this isn't the map for cannons. And the reason why is because the distance between us is just too big for me to reliably get a shot on Farquad. I know my limitations. There's some guys who could probably do that, but I'm not one of them. So I then decide that at the bare minimum, I need to get Farquad's attention off Steve. So what I do, I take the same direction that I took the last time, and I try and use the hills to stop Farquad having a clear shot on me with his snipes. And at that moment, while I'm pushing over, Uji says, that definitely lit you on fire. So I know Steve is getting shot at by Uji. Well, if Steve's getting shot at by Uji isn't aware of what I'm doing. So he's not paying attention to me, right? This gives me a green light to push Farquad. And as I said, a tracked hound versus cannons is only going to end one way. I've got a big advantage there. So by the time Uji reacts, it's too late. And I've pretty much took all the guns off Farquad, and he will have been really low in that situation.
Oh, no. See, I'm either over or under firing it. I need some practice with this.
Oh, nice. I think he's done that. Oh,
how did they not set you on fire? What the fuck?
it did affect me, though. It did affect me.
That should have set you on fire. You're on fire on my screen.
I'm not on fire, but I am taking.
So we immediately get a visual confirmation of Steve hitting Farquad and taking his last Howie off him. And at this point, Uji is peeling over towards me to get on my case. But the issue is it's just too late at this point, and I take his wheels almost straight away with a cannon here and then some grenade splash. And this is pretty much the end of the game, right? So I'm going to let it run on, but yeah, I'm going to let it run on because there's nothing Uji can really do to salvage the game at this point. But what I want to point out is overall, Farquad really shouldn't be trying to take the fight versus a cannon hound. Because ultimately he's on treads, he's got Howies, he has grenades, sure, but realistically the cannon hound, whether it's got cannons only or cannon grenades, it's going to be a really easy target for that hound. So he would have been better off trying to pull back entirely, or at the very least trying to use his grenades a bit more frequently. I know it's a difficult spot for him, because, as I said, the cannon hound should win anyway. But I just... yeah, and I still don't think that would have ended well for him. But he could have tried to play it better, and I think backing off would have been the better option there, because he saw me pushing, and rather than trying to get away. He actually tries to get closer to me at first before he realizes it's a bad idea and he pulls back again. But this just comes down to being aware and knowing your hound's strengths and weaknesses, and you should play to them. He ended up playing into his weaknesses a bit here. On the flip side, though, I think Uji could have also tried to support Farquaad a little bit more, because ultimately Farquaad had already taken one of Steve's guns, so we could have just put trust in Farquaad to keep Steve suppressed, and then he could have Uji could have focused his attention on me instead. Because ultimately, if I'm still pushing that situation, I'm going to have to face one of them at any one time, and the other one's cleared just to keep me in the side. Now, if they do that, it gives them a lot better chance of taking me out of the game rather than splitting up and trying to take the two 1v1s. But I want to caveat all of that, right? This was a very casual game, and by no means was this taken seriously. But I do still think there's some pointers to watch out for in your own matches and your own gameplays.
London burning to the underground.
Is Farquaad dead, Steve? Or did...
No, he's stripped. I've left him to.
Alright. Are those not hitting?
No, I did.
Yeah, okay.
See, if I didn't lose my gun cam immediately, it would have been fine.
It was a good shot that got you cam then, because I wasn't expecting to hit you, and you just sort of rolled into it.
What the fuck took my legs?
I took your legs. I hit you with cannons, and then I hit you with
Oh.
a grenade at your feet. Oh, what am I doing?
You just nearly walked
Yeah,
into
I
the
just
fire.
well, I did walk into it. I got away from it before it started overheating me, but I sort of thought to myself, then why am I just charging into it? Dumbass.
Terminator.
Your left.
How are
Steve's
you
coming up.
actually doing for health, Steve?
Yeah, fine. Apart from losing one gun, I'm
Well, Steve's
basically
on gate
perfect.
combos.
Ah, nice.
Oh, you lit him on fire.
My heat level has risen to about half. It's now going down. Where's the
That's
thing?
when you're
Not
on
lucky.
fire. That's
Yeah, I went
It
through
doesn't.
them.
No, it doesn't matter if you can have the animation of being on fire, but as long as you're out of the radius of what's on the ground, it's not going to affect it.
When the fuck did you hit me with cannons?
When there was a, I can remember seeing you get fucked with them. This is about the same time I landed two next to you.
Oh, okay. I might have turned my vision and just didn't see them going.
Yeah.